Kobe is part of the Hyogo Prefecture in the Kansai region. It is Japan's seventh largest city and third largest port city, next to Tokyo and Yokohama. It is a good day trip from Osaka. But if there's anything Kobe is most known for, that is Kobe beef. And we thought, what better way to experience eating Kobe beef than in Kobe? We all know Kobe beef is expensive, no doubt about that. Even the street food style costs a lot. You may think, does it really taste that different from ordinary beef? Having had it twice, no kidding, you would really taste and feel the difference. But is it worth spending for? Well, if you really want to experience it even once and you can accommodate it in your budget, yes, it is worth it. In this post, we'd like to share with you how we spent a day in Kobe last February, including where we had a more affordable Kobe beef lunch, where we walked it off in our round to a food trip at Nankin-machi or Kobe Chinatown. Typically, dinner costs more than lunch in a lot of restaurants in Japan. And that is the case for most, if not all, Kobe beef restaurants. If you're wondering why, it's because Japanese people typically want larger portions and spend more time during dinner, so the restaurant charges more. Now, as a travel tip, it is recommended that you avail their lunch course, which is normally offered between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So our Kobe day started with traveling from Osaka to Kobe for like an hour. Since our first order of business is that Kobe beef lunch, we went straight to Steakland Kobe. This was our second time at Steakland. The first was with a group of friends last 2019, and we just literally went to Kobe for it and went back to Osaka. Then the two of us went back this 2023, and we enjoyed it as much. Going to Steakland, the closest station is Kobe Sannomiya Station. To avoid a long line, we went there by the opening time of 11 a.m. Another travel tip, to avoid the lunch rush in Japan, go there at or before the opening time. One of the things we like about Steakland is that it has a big capacity. You can make reservations, but it's not required. We got a number from that machine before lining up at the designated area. These are the options for the lunch course. We went for the Kobe beef tender steak lunch. While watching our lunch get cooked, allow us to share some basic information about Kobe beef. What is the difference between Kobe beef and Wagyu beef? All Kobe beef is considered Wagyu beef, but not all Wagyu beef is Kobe beef. Wagyu beef is the broader term for any meat that comes from specific breeds of Japanese cattle that were raised according to a set of standards. You may have heard of Wagyu beef from countries other than Japan, like Australian Wagyu. The cow was born and raised in Australia, but its ancestor is still a Japanese cow that was brought there. Kobe beef is a kind of Wagyu beef. The standards are very strict to qualify as Kobe beef. Aside from it must meet a certain grade, weight and texture, it must be from the Taijima bloodline and must be born, fed and processed in the Hyogo Prefecture. Once that cow leaves the Hyogo Prefecture alive, it can't be considered Kobe beef anymore. Because of the very high standards, that's why Kobe beef is so expensive. This was our meal. We like our steak medium rare. That beef was perfectly seasoned and grilled. It melts in your mouth. Payment was done at the cashier on our way out. This is their menu after 2 p.m. You can check the other items on their website. After leaving Steakland with happy tummies, we took a short train ride to Kobe Motomachi Shopping Street. We walked along the 1.2-kilometer stretch end to end to kind of burn some of those lunch calories. It was interesting to see all those stores. Then we walked to Kobe Chinatown or Nankin-machi for the next segment of our food trip. This is one of the 3 Chinatowns in Japan, including Yokohama and Nagasaki. We've visited the other 2 as well. This is not the biggest, but we like the street foods here the most. We just walked around first to see the different street food options. It was a rainy winter day. We didn't know if that's the reason why there seemed to be fewer sellers. Our action plan was just to eat whatever gets our attention. We started with Kobe croquette. Our eyes got caught by all those banners. We asked them for their best sellers. Expectedly, number 1 was Kobe beef, but since we just had it for lunch, we then asked for number 2, and it was shrimp. We said we were going to eat it already, so they placed it in that container. 324 yen may seem expensive for a piece of croquette, but it was totally worth it. The crust was so crunchy. The mashed potato was so creamy and flavorful. It tasted even better with the tartar sauce. And you would taste the freshness of the shrimp. It was actually our favorite at Kobe Chinatown. Seriously, it's been our benchmark for croquettes. If you go there, please make sure to try it. Then we had some xiaolong bao. It was quite good. The hot soup in the dumpling was nice on that cold day. Then we tried this mochi skewer with sweet soy sauce flavor and nori. Sadly, we didn't like it. We later saw this stall and we noticed that the prices were lower than where we got the xiaolong bao and mochi. We tried their guabao and it was actually good. The pork was sweet and tender and the bun was soft and steamy. It was also nice for a cold day. They have a seating area on the side. We recommend this stall. Then we saw this store with some line and it sells pork buns. Apparently it's popular. We were full already, so we just tried one and had the rest for breakfast the next day. The pork filling was flavorful. The bun was springy and quite dense, so it's more filling for a small bun. But we found it a bit too oily. It was quite unpleasant for us. But we guess other people like it, so it might be worth trying. The last one we saw was this cafe with different sweet potato products. Since we were full, we wanted to have some dessert, and we got curious about their soft serve with sweet potato strings on top. It was also a nice opportunity to rest in a warm place. There's a dining area upstairs. This dessert was so good. The soft serve was smooth and not too sweet. Those strings of boiled sweet potato were quite warm. It complemented well with the smooth vanilla soft serve. The size of this dessert was actually good for sharing. It was our second favorite food from Kobe Chinatown, and we totally recommend that you try it. That concluded our Kobe food trip. Then we took the train back to Osaka at the Motomachi station. We hope we're able to give you some ideas for your next Osaka trip. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more Japan travel-related recommendations. Till the next one. Thanks for watching.